Chechigenda mama. Nsandise okulaba naye oli fiti. Oyingiddewo n'ogamba champion n'ojjandozisaba n'otambula. Era singa tabadde Brian, singa kati otonyanganzi.
Tujja kuvuma. Kyekiriwo.
Tuli okay?
Oli fiti nnyo.
Twebaza Katonda tuli balamu tuli fiti. Omanyi buli bookera ku makya n'ozuukuka nga tolina wakuluma wonna. Kyosooka okwebaza ye Mukama Katonda. Kyova olaba nti bagamba nti obulamu bwe bugagga naye ate abakazi ne bagamba okuba n'omusajja omulamu nga mwavu ofunda n'alina akawuka ka siriimu ng'alina ssente. Omusajja omwavu aba mubi nnyo afuluuta. Omusajja omwavu ayombayomba. Omusajja omwavu agamba omunnyo gwalazeewa. Sabbuuni nsiba ya mwana aba munaabe munaye omugagga aleeta bulesiza shopping. It is okay.
Champion, let's talk about the kickboxing. You're the face of kickboxing in Uganda.
Yeah, man.
But we know that right now there is an issue that is concerning kickboxing in Uganda. The president already wrote to Parliament that they shouldn't include kickboxing in the national sports bill and return the bill to Parliament. That means you are fighting, you are struggling, but this is not recognized in Uganda. Does this concern you as a kickboxer?
First of all, it concerned me 100% because we fought for this. I want to tell the world and His Excellency that kickboxing is the game from the ghetto. Kickboxing is one of the games for the young ghetto youths, which gives them motivation, which gives them to relax a little bit. You know, a ghetto youth, you have to give him something aggressive. Every time he does that thing, he cools down. So I want to tell His Excellency, it took us wrong. Kickboxing was not in the budget of Uganda. But we fought. Golola Moses, I fought so much. In fact, kickboxing, it had started, it was in the army. It was like army sport. In fact, when they were having military sport games here.
You even have the UPDF kickboxing club.
Yeah, so it was in the games until it came to the what? To the people. Because kickboxing is for the youth, it's a game. It's like boxing, it's like any other, in fact, it's in a group of martial arts. So, for the president to call upon and to write not to put back kickboxing on the budget of Uganda, he did wrong. You know, one of the things is that His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as a president, he doesn't have he doesn't have somebody who is telling him. He doesn't have a advisor on sports. He has advisors in ghetto. He has advisors in youth. But in the sports, we don't have advisors. That's why you see the sports of Uganda. Every time it's going behind. Other people, they see it's improving. But those people who are in the federation, they are still crying for the money because sports needs sponsors. Sports needs a government. We need a government hand because this is a sport of Uganda. This is a game. So as the president doesn't have any advisor about the sports, he doesn't know about the sport.
But he has the ministers.
The ministers, they don't do enough because none of the ministers ever reached on the ground. Since for the last 20 years, I've not seen the Minister of Sports calling all the sports entires. How comes we don't have sports galas at the end of the year? Where is the budget going? How comes at the end of the year we have Namboli? Why can't we host more than 10 games? We have 52 games which are going to the Olympics. Are these all games active? You might even find some games that don't have offices. Then how can you start removing just the certificate?
Now, but you have a chance now that the bill has been taken back to the Committee of Sports and Education.
Yes.
It's back into Parliament. You as the kickboxers, the federation of that, I'm talking about Uganda Kickboxing Federation,
yes,
but also National Council of Sport. This is the chance we have, or you have, that maybe you can go back to Parliament and try to speak to them and let them know that.
As a legend, of course, I've been knowing so much what's going behind the federation. We have been having wrangles in the federation. In fact, some of the members who were in the federation, they started fighting each other. As a National Council of Sports, I don't blame it so much because as a National Council of Sports, it's always wait for those people who are ready, who organize and they receive them. When the National Council of Sports wrote to those who were in the federation, it was Mr. Patrick Rioza and Afande Mpangire and the team. In fact, they were supposed to put the elections of the federation, to elect the new presidential, which they didn't. They were supposed to call all the clubs to be part of the elections. They have been having some challenges.
After the death of 2018.
The death of Sechilime. After the death of Sechilime, the Federation sat down and elected one person who could take to finish up the term of the late Hassan Sechilime. That was Mr. Patrick Rioza. After he was supposed to call the committee and they elect a new leadership. When I reached Mr. Patrick Rioja, told me in the moment he was trying to organize that was the moment of COVID and it was
2020 around
2020 when we had even the Olympics. The National Council of Sports informed him at the moment there was no money to support him to call the elections. They told him to find a way of making sure that the election goes on, of which Mr. Patrick tried to do, but he accused another side of his team. Because in kickboxing, they came now parties. There is one opposition, there is another which it thinks that it is taking on the kickboxing. This controversy brought all this of delaying of having back the certificate.
Now that you have these divisions within the Federation and National Council of Sports, and now the bill, of course, the President says it's not recognized.
Yes.
Isn't it the time that we're going to see the complete fall of kickboxing in Uganda, because you are trying to nurture talent here at the Golola Talent Academy, but others in Luzira and Kawempe are also doing the same, and we're going to see the complete death blow to kickboxing in Uganda.
Not even the death blow of kickboxing of Uganda, but the entire youth. Because these boys are trained, they were given a hope. They believe that they can become Golola Moses tomorrow, or they have been fighting and getting some small money. And of course, as the government, we always cry for that small money to come and support. That money was not supporting as me, Golola Moses, as a person, or with the profession, but it was going down to the clubs. And I want to tell you the challenge in the clubs are very bad off. Some of them, they don't have even where to train from. They don't have toilets. They don't have washrooms. So me, I'm just calling the parliament, and I'm just calling the parliament and His Excellency President, the National Council of Sports. Let us look at this sport to help the young generations. Yes, you know, politics has entered in everything, and the politics has spoiled everything. When these people heard that the government was going to give them some money to support them from the campaign, that's how the problem came from. They started fighting each other. But me, I'm telling the entire kickboxers, no, this is not about talking about the federation. The entire boxers, kickboxers, this is our sport. This is our game. We just need to come together. Actually, the National Council of Sports was waiting us to come together. The National Council of Sports told me, Golola, why do you believe that you two people can think for you as all kickboxers? You mean all of you can't, one of you can't come out and stand as the president and you take kickboxing to the next level? We have been trying that, but we have been having some small groups who give calls after the meetings, of course telling others not to join, but I'm telling you, colleagues, my brothers, for all those who have been wanting to take kickbox to the next level, my brother Mariki Kalisa, my brother Patrick Rioza, and the entire team, you have seen what has come out after delaying to put the elections, after putting the controversy into the sport. So me, I'm saying that at least you have to first stand aside. And we see how we call these kickboxers. We want to talk to kickboxers. We want to talk to the clubs when we don't have anyone interfering in us, so that we can find a way of maybe reconciling to bring back our certificate, going back to the National Council of Sports, because the National Council of Sports says that the game belongs to the clubs, the game belongs to the fighters. It's with the fighters to wake up and say, this is going to be our leader.
At one moment,
no matter how big money you have, how educated you have, but it's you to know the system.
At one time, I saw you trying to teach the president. That was at Golola,
yes,
trying to show him the
basics of kickboxing, yes.
So, I think he should be knowing He knows you and should be
And the
knowing
president
at
should
this
be
point of time.
knowing kickboxing. So if you take off kickboxing, that means you don't know Golola. We have worked so much to see that we represent our country in a respected way. Boxers, kickboxers, we are one of the dangerous youths because one boxer can stand there and punch a soldier. So we are trying to bring them, we are trying to talk to them. And I want to tell you, Mr. President, the challenges are too much in this country, in our country. So if our youth are being squeezed so much, you'll find them entering in other things which we won't like.